Picture this. You wake up tomorrow and every single flaw you have magically disappears. Your awkward laugh becomes melodious. Your tendency to overthink vanishes. That weird habit of collecting random objects stops. You become absolutely perfect. Sounds amazing, right? Here's the terrifying part. You would become completely forgettable, utterly boring, and ironically, deeply flawed in your perfection. Welcome to the most mind-bending paradox of human existence. The fact that our imperfections are precisely what make us perfect. I'm about to show you why your flaws aren't bugs in your programming. They're features that make you irreplaceable. Let's start with something that'll blow your mind. Scientists have discovered that people are actually more attracted to faces with slight asymmetries than to mathematically perfect ones. When researchers created computer-generated perfectly symmetrical faces, participants consistently rated them as less appealing than faces with minor imperfections. Your crooked smile isn't a design flaw, it's a masterpiece of human uniqueness. But this goes way deeper than just physical appearance. Think about your favorite movie character. I bet they're not the perfect hero who never struggles. They're probably the one with trust issues, or the genius who can't tie their shoes, or the brave warrior who's terrified of butterflies. These contradictions don't make them less compelling. They make them unforgettable. Here's where it gets really interesting. Psychologists have identified something called the Prattfall Effect. When competent people make small mistakes, we actually like them more, not less. It's why that perfectly polished influencer who never shows vulnerability feels fake, while the one who accidentally walks into glass doors becomes instantly relatable and lovable. Your brain is literally wired to connect with imperfection. When someone shares a failure or embarrassing moment, mirror neurons fire in your brain, creating genuine connection. Perfect people trigger our insecurity responses, while flawed people trigger our empathy responses. It's evolutionary psychology at work. We survived as a species by bonding with our tribe, not by competing with gods. Consider the Japanese philosophy of wabi-sabi, which finds profound beauty in imperfection and impermanence. A cracked tea bowl isn't discarded. It's repaired with gold, making the breaks part of its story and actually increasing its value. The cracks become the most beautiful part. Your emotional cracks, your failed relationships, your career setbacks, they're not damage to hide, they're gold filling that makes you more valuable. But here's the twist that nobody talks about. The pursuit of perfection is itself a perfect imperfection. When you're obsessing over making everything flawless, you're displaying the beautifully human trait of caring deeply. Even your perfectionism is perfectly imperfect, because it reveals your passion, your standards, and your refusal to accept mediocrity. Let's talk about why perfect people are actually impossible to trust. Think about it. Someone who claims they never make mistakes is either lying or completely lacking in self-awareness. Both options are red flags. Meanwhile, someone who openly acknowledges their flaws is demonstrating honesty, self-reflection, and authenticity. Your willingness to admit you're wrong makes you more right than someone who insists they never err. The most successful artists, entrepreneurs, and leaders all share one thing. They've learned to weaponize their weaknesses. Bob Ross turned his gentle, mistake-prone nature into a painting empire by teaching people that there are no mistakes, only happy accidents. Richard Branson transformed his dyslexia from a learning disability into a superpower that helped him communicate complex ideas simply. Your flaws create your superpowers in ways you might not realize. If you're overly sensitive, you probably have incredible empathy. If you're anxious, you're likely excellent at anticipating problems. If you're stubborn, you probably have unshakable determination. The same trait that frustrates you in one context becomes your secret weapon in another. Here's something that'll change how you see yourself forever. Researchers studying long-term relationships found that couples who openly discuss their flaws and work through problems together have significantly stronger bonds than couples who try to maintain perfect facades. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the birthplace of connection, creativity, and courage. Even nature herself is perfectly imperfect. Snowflakes are beautiful precisely because no two are identical. Each one is flawed in its own unique way, and that's what makes them miraculous. A perfectly uniform snowfall would be terrifying, not beautiful. The paradox deepens when you realize that accepting your imperfections actually makes you more perfect. When you stop trying to hide your flaws and start embracing them, you become more authentic, more relatable, and more genuinely attractive. The moment you stop apologizing for being human is the moment you become superhuman. So here's your challenge. Tomorrow, instead of trying to fix yourself, try celebrating one of your flaws. Share an embarrassing story. Admit when you don't know something. Let your weird laugh out. Dance badly. Cook something terrible. Fail spectacularly at something new. Because in a world full of filtered photos and curated lives, your authentic imperfection is the most rebellious, beautiful, and perfect thing you can offer. You're not broken and in need of fixing. You're a masterpiece in progress, perfectly imperfect by design. Your flaws aren't holding you back from being perfect. They're proving that you already are.
This was The Eye Behind the Curtain. If something clicked, sit with it. This channel doesn't diagnose, it observes.